Like a bit of a better lighting throughout this whole video, but I just wanted to do my intro here because it's just better lighting in general. So hey all, welcome back to our channel. Hope you enjoy all our videos. Subscribe if you want to be part of the K-Star family. So I'm gonna lay my phone down here. Just wanted to get some little bit of better lighting, if you get what I mean. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. But yeah, so you probably have noticed already that I haven't got a little someone with me today, which is my brother Freddie. So I just wanted to do a video on my own today, so that's what I'm gonna do. I already have told him. He's like, yeah, it's fine, I don't mind. Like, I've always said to him, you can make videos on your own. Like, I've never said, oh no, you can't or anything. But I just wanted to let him know in case. But in today's video, I'm going to be doing something different. Like I already said, I'm going to be doing a crime case. And this video is specifically inspired by Eleanor Neale. She is a YouTuber that explains like crimes and stuff, and oh my god, I'm so like inspired by her. I love her so much. Her crimes and the way she explains it is very inspiring, and I just like her as a YouTuber. So some stuff might be similar in this video that she might have said. I just wanted to let you know that I just was inspired by her, and some of the facts I've got written down here because I just wanted to put some notes down about it. Is from a little bit of her video, and also a little bit on Google as well, of me researching the case. So yeah, I don't think, hopefully this won't be a massively long video, but this video is going to be about, sorry, just gonna flex on my great sunglasses. Sorry, just found them and put them on because I'm a weirdo. But anyways, this case is called The Murder in the Graveyard. So this was actually a cold case for about 17 years, which is like, they couldn't find out who it was until 17 years later, and like they worked out, like obviously police are very intelligent, some of them, and they work out what maybe could have happened and what as the traces like put them to, as I need to breathe, like what is the trace has shown them and what they suspect that may have happened. So that's good for the parents as well, because they obviously put them in peace and made them feel a little bit better knowing that they know what's happened. Like, I know it's not easy to hear, but they're probably like thankful that knowing what happened is probably better for them. But I just want to quickly put out a trigger warning to you all. If you're sensitive towards any subjects of sexual assault or any brutal details of like murder or death, please do not watch this video. Or I might I've said a warning by the way as well, but I will put like the time up to skip off from the brutal bits. I'll do it once just before I'm about to say it, so I'll be like, I'm gonna put it up, and then like, yeah, put the time up to when you can go, when you don't have to hear all the gruesome stuff if you don't like that kind of stuff. So, by the way, I have researched this on the internet and also got inspired by Eleanor Neale. I've also got some notes with me as well. Right, so let's get started anyways. So, this girl's name was Jessica Lynn Keene, born in Colombia and lived with her parents. So, Jess was a very sweet and well-liked girl, very intelligent as well, worked hard in school, liked school as well, and was very into cheerleading and performing. She like loved cheerleading and performing and singing. Like, it's just one of them things she loved, and she just loved being seen and like heard. And she also, I heard that she had a very good singing voice too, which is pretty a plus as well. And also, when she grew up, she wanted to be an actor or a singer, something like that's what she wanted to do as a living. But she obviously thought of a thing that she might want to do, because that's a very hardcore thing to get into. because you have, like, it's like one of them things where it's a rare chance and you're very, like, lucky, I guess, like, to get picked up. Like, it's just a lot more, like, just rare. Like, I wouldn't say it's rare. I don't really know how to explain it, but, like, it's harder to become one of them because you have to put in a lot of work. But anyways, her backup plan for that was she was very into animals as well. She's very much into animals, and she wanted to go to university when she got older and study veterinarian or something like that, because she loved, like, the fact of animals. Like, she just loved them, being around them, and it just made her feel happy as well. So she liked most things. Like, she liked a bit of sport, learning, so she's a pretty perfect girl. Like, every girl would want to be good at that kind of stuff. So she seemed like a very nice person. But anyways, this is the sad part. As obviously she's grown up, and when she turned about 14, 15, things began to become a little different, and she met a boy. And this boy was, that soon became her boyfriend, of course. He was very much the opposite of Jessica. He was very much of the stereotypical bad boy, very naughty, get into petty little crimes that he done, like skipped school all the time, just didn't go to school anymore. And also this boy was about 18 years old, so that's not great, because obviously she was quite a bit older, but then I guess people can do what they want to do. And her boyfriend's name was Sean Thomas. Keep that in mind. So obviously he was quite a bit, like, older than her, I guess. But yeah. But then just also started to change. To see this boy, she ended up skipping school, like, just to skip school just to go see him, and obviously that's going to result in her grades obviously dropping down, and, like, her not being in school as much will obviously make a big difference with her grades. And her behaviour started to change as well in school. Her behaviour started going downhill just because of this one boy that's changed her completely just from being with her. And also, this is very sad, but she quit cheerleading, something that she really loved, just for a boy. Like, she shouldn't stop doing what she loved because of a boy. And it was not like her at all. Like, it's just because her boyfriend was very much of a bad influence on her. And obviously that results in the parents not liking that at all. I don't think any parent would. Like, if you're in a relationship and you're quite young still, and that's resulting on a bad behaviour towards you and bad schoolwork, and, like, skipping school and being a naughty person and, like, turning into a bad person, that's obviously going to result on your parents not being very happy. So obviously they started having arguments about it, because she loved this boy, of course, like, young love. She loved him. She didn't want to break up with him, of course, but the parents, like, wanted him to or whatever. But she loved this boy, and she was like, I don't care, I love this boy. Like, she cared about him more than her education, which I think personally, and her parents also thought that obviously education is quite important, and a boy shouldn't stop you from doing that, because, like, you're very good at, like, you're very intelligent too, and she was a very intelligent girl, and obviously he stopped that from happening, and that's not great on her, and he just wasn't a very nice person in general. But the arguments started getting progressively worse, and especially between Jess and her mum, because their bond started breaking up, obviously. And I think she was, all what I heard of, I think she was an only child. I don't exactly know, but yeah, I think she was an only child. And yeah, and after a while, it was beginning to get worse and worse and worse, and her mum ended up, like, taking her away to this place. I think it was an all-girls place, just specifically to sort out relationships with your family members, and just get better, I guess basically get a better person. I don't exactly know what it's called because I forgot, but it's like this place where they go to improve their behaviour, and they don't really see much people around them. So she was only going for about 2 weeks, which is not long at all, I don't think. So I think, yeah, she wasn't refusing to go. She, like, Jess wanted to go because she just, like, wanted space away from her parents, and her parents obviously wanted the same thing, which is completely acceptable. Like, stuff happens, and yeah, so she went to that place, and surprisingly her behaviour got back to normal. Like her grades started going up again. Like, she became the same person that she used to be, just because she wasn't seeing this boy, because obviously she's in there, so she couldn't see him as much. Well, not at all actually, because, and that's what I mean, like, that's how much of a bad influence a boy or a girl or your friends or your boyfriend, or they just have a lot of like, have very much of a bad influence on you, and that it can change your behaviour a lot and change you as a person. And obviously once you, like, they're out of your life, you definitely start changing it back into the person you used to be. So that's what Jess was. But one night, obviously, she was on the phone to her boyfriend. It was fine at first, and then that slowly progressed into an argument of them. Obviously, I think it was about her not seeing him as much, and they were just arguing on the phone, and that obviously progressed into a breakup, unfortunately. So she began to get, obviously she's going to be upset about it, and she was getting rolled up and upset, and she has friends, she also had friends in there too. She was getting rolled up and upset, and she really wanted to get out of there and just get some fresh air. She wanted to go shopping for a little while, maybe just have, like, a breather, just to get out of there and have a breather. So she told her friend and then went out for a bit. So she walked to the bus station, and unfortunately that was the last time anyone ever saw her, because she went about, I think it was like 4 or 6 p.m. I don't really know, I didn't write the times down, but one of them, and slowly time was getting on, and her, like, it was then, like, getting about to 11, turning to 12, and obviously the staff around obviously had to check every room to see if the girls, like, were all in there, and they were wondering where she's gone. And it's getting really late now, just checking if all the girls are asleep, and she wasn't there. So obviously they're getting worried, so they called the parents just in case she, like, went to their house instead, maybe. But they weren't. She wasn't there, and the parents obviously started getting worried, and started getting later and later, and they did end up calling the police that day because they know it wasn't, like, her daughter. They know that she's done stuff wrong and stuff that happened, but they knew that she would never ever be the kind of person to go like that, like, to just go away and, like, not come back till later on, because she normally gets back at normal times where she was suggested to come home. So obviously the police just thought, oh, it's probably just one of the runaway cases, and they think, oh, she'll be back soon, just maybe wait a bit longer. But they still waited a couple of days later, and she never turned up. So obviously the police filed a report, and they filed this as a missing person case. So obviously they questioned her friend about where did she go that, like, afternoon, like, or evening, and she obviously told them that she went to the bus stop and everything, and they obviously talked to the people, like, she was there and everything. So they just thought, oh, maybe she's gone to visit her boyfriend or whatever. And yes, they were just assuming things. Obviously you got to think of different things before you assume, oh, they're missing and stuff that's happened to them. So obviously police have gone to that bus station to look on the CCTV to see what's going on. They saw her, like, in the bus station, but they never saw her on the bus, which is very odd, because obviously once you get a bus then you do. So obviously the parents are starting to panic because you don't know where they've gone. they're still suggesting that she might be with her boyfriend at this point, but I think they might have like called him up and they said that she was never with him. But obviously going to look into him quite well, because obviously a friend obviously told the police that they broke up, and he could be like a suspect that may have like, they could have run away together, or something bad might have happened. So now this is where stuff might get a little bit like offish. Oh, you don't like this kind of stuff, so I'll just skip forward to this time if you don't like this kind of stuff. So police obviously looked into it more and thought she didn't get on the bus, so maybe someone's picked her up or anything. So they were still assuming that it was her boyfriend that picked her up, or like taking her somewhere, whatever. But anyways, let me get on to like the bit where, because this is really hard to explain, sorry, I'm not very good at this, this is my first time doing it. I'm just going to get on to the bit where what happened, I think it is. Yeah, what actually happened, or what the police assumed that may have happened. So this is obviously the gruesome part, so like I said, they probably can skip to the part. But unfortunately, the police was assumed that she may have been lured into a car, whether it's her boyfriend or someone. They'd not quite found out who the person may have been, but she was lured into a car, and they actually found that she was 20 miles away from that bus station, and they were looking around the area because they were tracking like where she may have went, and I think they were tracking the car, I don't exactly know, but she was driven away to this area, and they looked around this area and there was like this graveyard. So they were assuming that she was most probably sexually assaulted in the car, and everything may have happened in that car, and they saw this graveyard as well that they may have stopped at, and that very close to the area they were. And as they were like investigating in the area, they saw a sock, and they thought like, clothes were there as well, and they thought, yeah, so she's obviously tried to get out of the car and tried to do like a sprint and run away. So, right, what they think may have happened is, and they did find her body in the end in the graveyard. I'll explain how she got murdered and everything. So they were assuming, the police side and stuff were assuming that she was sexually assaulted inside the car, and she managed to get the door open and run away. So she's run away into this graveyard. It was obviously quite dark outside as well. Yeah, so she ran away into this graveyard, like a sock came off, and obviously the person's running after her, whoever this person was. So as she was running, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this at all. She begins running, and they also saw footprints like of her running across like the mud in there, and she was running, like kept running around and around. It was like kind of a chase, and the man that was like doing this was running after her, and she's tried to hide in a few places because you saw knee marks as well as feet marks on there, so you knew that she was trying to hide from somewhere. But they then spotted that she was running, and then he ended up catching up with her. So he's now, this is the horrible bit, so if you don't like this at all, I know this is another warning, I just don't want to get demonetised for this, but he managed to rip a gravestone out of the ground and smack her on the head with it. And obviously that's like cracked her skull, which almost killed her. And obviously he, after that, even when she was dead, he kept on beating her with this gravestone, and this, how hard he hit her, split the gravestone into two, which was a pretty hard hit and is obviously going to kill her, but he kept beating her after this. So her body was found naked, and I think she had a bra on, but anyways, he hit her on the head, and yeah, this, obviously they were assuming this may probably have been her boyfriend after the breakup. But when they actually got in contact with the boyfriend, he was away somewhere in America with his friends or other at that time and place. But obviously the police need evidence that he actually went away. So he had all the evidence, and he was actually away at that point, and they had all the evidence for that. So now this is where everything gets a little bit weird. So they're thinking, racking their brains of what may have happened, and obviously there must be someone else around the area or something that has done this and is sick in the head enough to do that. So they've ruled off the boyfriend, and they were like running around, obviously gonna like question other people too about if they like know or anything, but they got nothing. So the case ended up being get put on a cold, like a freeze, and it wasn't discovered into till 17 years later. Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry, I've changed positions and everything because I had to rewrite some of the case as well, and I wrote a lot more of it because I only got up to that part. So I had to rewrite it, but then for you guys it wouldn't be nothing, so anyways, right, so they looked at cases similar to Jessica's in like the 30-mile radius of where she was murdered, and tried to find a match, like if any cases like around, and they did actually find a DNA sample like near her, like I don't know exactly where, but like around her body, but they could never, like back then they couldn't like work out DNA as good as they do these days. But anyways, on March 17th 2008, exactly 17 years after the murder happened, a match was found. A man matched that got released from prison called Martin Lee Smith Jr. that was 51 years old. So 9 years. He was sentenced actually. So he was in prison for about from 1991 to 2000 for the rape and kidnap and robbery of 2 other young girls. And he was let out of prison at that point, and obviously in 2000 you had to they done a new law where after they come out of prison they have to do a DNA sample, so if anything else happens and they do anything wrong, then they have their DNA, so they know it's them. So they left in 2000. He left his DNA when he left prison. He left his DNA in his database for 8 years after. So in 2008 they ran Jesse's DNA sample and found a match to his DNA. Thanks to the new law that happened, so. It's alright, I'm carrying on, sorry, my mum came upstairs, sorry. She just wanted to check on me. Right, anyways. yeah, thanks to the new law, other crimes happened before Jessica's murder, Jessica Keene's murder. So this was his story. He never had any intentions to murder someone that day, just wanted to kidnap and sexually assault a young girl. But she ran away, of course, and he thought if she did escape, she'll just run straight to the police. And obviously there's going to be evidence, and he'll just get signed up for even more time and get found for even more money. So make sure she wouldn't. So she thought, so make sure she doesn't go out and tell the police and go and find the police and try and find them. He thought the only solution was to murder her and kill her, because that's the only thing would be their solution. So I think this is the last page. He was arrested in the connection of the murder, of course. He admitted to everything. He was up for a death penalty to avoid this and pled guilty to all the crimes he committed. And his sentence was to 30 years to life. No chance of parole because he was unlikely to even come out of prison. He'll probably stay in there for life. Obviously I had a funeral and everything for her after everything's happened, and they obviously found out, and now they've got a gravestone outside of the graveyard of where it happened. And yeah, so anyways, that was the case. Let me know if you want me to do any more, and maybe like text me on Instagram or something, suggest some more cases for me to do, or any video ideas that you have. But that was a crime case today. It wasn't the best, I'm really sorry, it was not the best video at all. It was not a very good one, to be honest. But I just wanted to do a different video. I know it probably wasn't great, I didn't explain it that well, but I tried my best. But yeah, this took so many tries, but I tried my best. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, just let me know if you want to see more, or what case you want to see next, or what video I should do, or if I should do it with Freddie or not. But yeah. Right, see you later guys, bye.